Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 162 and today I want to start things off by saying that I didn't ignore Exuma in the episode that released on Wednesday. Basically what happened was, you know when I died, I died right at the start of the episode. Within 13 seconds I jumped off, forgot that I didn't have my elytra, died on the floor. Exuma then said ouch and then asked me if I wanted to play games in the gaming district. I then stopped recording and responded to him, but everyone thought that I had ignored him. And everyone was saying down in the comment section of that episode that I was an awful person for ignoring Exuma's invite and that I didn't like him and things like that. Editing is a thing, okay? We edit our videos, we cut them up, we chop things out. You didn't see me respond because I don't have to include everything, much like you didn't see me resource gathering for 3 hours to build the projects that I have in the Hermitcraft server because it's boring. We chop things out because otherwise these videos wouldn't be particularly interesting. I'm amazed I have to clear this sort of thing up sometimes. Anyway, in today's Hermitcraft episode, we're going to be working on the ridiculous project once again, and holy mackerel, I forgot how cool this thing looks. Oh, wow. Oh, this is so cool. It's such a massive hole. Oh, I'm so glad that that is all clear. Well, first thing that we have to do is we're actually going to have to jump in and we're going to have to clear out some of the things that are dotted around, and we're also going to have to move that beacon elsewhere because right now it's in the way. Now, thankfully, because we have the beacon up and because I've got an efficiency 5 pickaxe, taking out obsidian really isn't as painful as it used to be back in the day of Minecraft. I remember when you got a diamond pick and you were mining out obsidian, even to get a nether portal, I think it would be like 2 or 3 minutes worth of mining just to get 10 bits. It was mental. Okay, so that's everything clear up to around about y = 40. Anything that's floating around here, we're going to be taking out because right now we're going to be building the actual slime farm itself. We're going to be building up all of the platforms, which means obviously we're going to run into these and take those out. So now I need to work out what the optimal design is for a slime farm because I can't actually remember. Yeah, I probably should have checked for the optimal design before I built my hole and everything around it because the optimal design is a little bit bigger and we won't be able to do it. So we're going to do the second most optimal design. I'm such a spoon. Oh, and to top it all off, okay, if things weren't bad enough already, just check out the square. So this is where the slimes are going to be spawning. You can see them spawning in there. Look, there's even slimes spawning on the platform. But just take a real close look. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Our hole's a little bit too small. So we have to expand out this side and this side. Which means that we need to push all of this back. And this. Okay, here's the plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build up the first layer, which I did start work on, but realized I actually needed to place a layer of slabs at the bottom to stop little slimes spawning underneath the first spawning platform. So really, we haven't got off to a very strong start, but yeah, I'm going to build up all of the platforms for the slime farm, and then we can make the hole bigger, and then we can work on actually expanding out this place. Please don't get killed by a slime. I mean, that'd be super embarrassing. I'm not trying to make this an episode about me complaining, but my slime farm is genuinely producing too many slimes for me to work on it safely. Oh my word, I might be about to be killed by them. Oh. You know what? Now that little first non-layer is done, the little protective layer that stops things spawning under the layers, I actually think that me building the layers will look really cool in the form of a third-person time-lapse. Yeah, let's do this. So in today's super fast time-lapse chat, I want to talk to you about what it's like to be a YouTube content creator, someone that makes YouTube videos for a living, because a lot of people ask me about that. You know, what it's like to be a YouTuber, how does it feel to be a YouTuber? The answer is, it's fantastic. Obviously, it's one of the best things ever. Like, being able to make Minecraft videos for a living, full-time, is something that is completely bonkers to me. It's something that I never really expected to happen. And yeah, it's fantastically good fun. But one element of YouTube that I don't know if it does get talked about quite a lot, but it's something that is definitely worth mentioning, is that time just seems to sink into YouTube. Like, you will put pretty much your entire life into YouTube and creating YouTube content. I don't really have a life outside of YouTube. Even when I'm doing things that are outside of YouTube, for example, when obviously, you know, we go out for days out with Vicky and everything like that, I'm trying my best to shoot videos, I'm trying my best to shoot photos and things like that to post up on various social medias. I'm thinking about that sort of thing. So it's a really strange position to be in, because everything that you do is focused around YouTube. It's really bizarre. And what was even stranger is when I went to the Philippines and I didn't have the internet for 2 weeks, or at least I occasionally logged in, but I didn't get a SIM card or anything like that. So logging into data and things cost millions of pounds, basically, for every megabyte that I use. So I didn't really touch the internet. And it was really, really odd coming off of it, because having spent 6 years making YouTube videos, I'd never really switched off like that. So I suddenly felt really, I guess, out of touch, to the point where I had like a mini anxiety attack on one of the nights, thinking that my YouTube channel had been hacked and I wouldn't have noticed it, and I started stressing out. And then I checked everything and everything was fine, and I went back to switching off. But it's a really, really odd position to be in, because your whole life revolves around this thing where you're making videos. And at this point in time, I mean, it's 1:30 in the morning. I've got a flight to catch at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm just trying my best to get all my videos edited and uploaded before I go to Ireland. So that is the position I'm in right now. I'm definitely pulling an all-nighter. That's 100% happening. But I'm trying to get this content up for you guys to watch while I'm away. See, that's me being a good little YouTuber right there. So that is it. All of the platforms for the slime farm have been constructed, and because this top layer isn't actually lit at the minute, it's a bit of a mob farm, so I'm going to try my best to stay away from those guys, because as you can see from my Y level, I am at Y equals 31, which might seem a little bit strange because slimes can spawn up to Y equals 40, but I had a bit of a thought, and I'm not 100% certain that this is going to be the case. So for those of you who are in the technical community, or Ilmango, if you're watching this for some bizarre reason, you might be able to weigh in and help me out here. But in Ilmango's video where he designed a super efficient slime farm, he only went up to Y equals 31 because if you go up any higher than that, you go up into the next sub chunk. So I'm sure you all understand chunks. Chunks are 16 by 16 areas, so that's why we've got this 4 by 4 area of chunks. These are the slime chunks. But then you also have sub chunks, which are vertical chunks. So you've got 16 blocks, then 16 blocks, then 16 blocks, and so on and so forth. And I believe the way that the spawning algorithm for mobs works is it goes from the bottom up to the top. And if you have nothing above your chunk area, so say you have the 2 sub chunks down at the bottom, then nothing, it will cycle through the spawning cycle faster because there's less chunks to spawn things in, which means that it increases the efficiency. Does my farm satisfy that? Oh, also, turns out I haven't built this hole the wrong size. I just did my maths wrong, so we actually have to take out some extra space around here, and we need to relight the entire thing. So just to clarify, the question that I'm asking when it comes to my slime farm and the sub-chunk thing is, at this point in time, with this hole in its current state, would it be more efficient for me to have my farm go up to Y equals 31 to keep it below the next sub-chunk, or should I go right the way up to Y equals 40 to get the extra few layers, but go into the next sub-chunk? If people could explain that, then let me know. Anyway, I need to place in some torches. You know, I don't know what would have been worse. If I had built my hole actually incorrectly and I had to fix it, or if I decided to fix my hole without realizing that I had built my hole correctly, and then breaking everything and putting everything off center, and then realizing that I'd actually built my hole correctly all along. Yeah, I think the second one would be more frustrating, actually. But I tell you what is quite good to see is the fact that the slime farm does seem to be working incredibly well. As I'm sure you saw during the time-lapse, there was a constant stream of slime spawning out of this thing. And as I've been working on the bottom floor doing all of the torches, which are now all nicely lined up, I've been attacked by a whole bunch of them, which is good. That's what I like to see. I don't even know why I'm doing this, because you're never going to be able to see the torches anyway. No one is going to be going onto the inside of the slime farm. If they are, they're doing something wrong. So I'm lining up torches to perfection for no one. With that being said though, I have found a pretty good rhythm for doing this. So it's on the diagonal for these ones. Then when we get to this area, it then flips over to just being horizontals over on this side. And then, yeah, horizontals there. Yeah, this is, see, we're kind of flying through now. Anyway, now that that's all done, this thing is fully lit up. It's also the perfect size for this hole. It is actually operational, kind of. I mean, it's not killing any slimes, but it is definitely spawning them. Yes, it is spawning them. Look at that. If we can keep up that rate of slime spawning, then we're going to have some serious slime on our hands. I mean, we're going to fill up this storage system. That's brilliant to see. In terms of actually killing them, we need to work out what we're doing there, because there's a few different ideas that I've been thinking about. You see, using cactuses, that's what I was originally going to do. I was going to use cacti going around the outside, but the issue is that can destroy the slime balls. So obviously you kill the slime, and then the slime balls just instantly go into the cactus and get broken. And according to Il Mango, you lose about 20% of your drops that way, which is quite a lot. That's quite a few drops. So I'm trying my best to think of a different killing method, and I think it might actually be worth doing this. Yeah, it might be worth doing this in a world. You know, I have to give it to this spider. He has really committed to trying to kill me. He traveled all the way from down at the bottom there, right the way up this wall to try and get to me. Anyway, first thing that we have to do is we need to create ourselves a bit of a testing world. Now, according to the technical people of Minecraft, flat worlds or super flat worlds reduce slime spawning by 75%, because I'm guessing the super flat grass worlds used to just be filled with slime, so they might have fixed that. So that means that we're going to have to open up a regular Minecraft world and then clear out all of this space. Now I wonder if this actually works. Oh, I'm sorry, animals. So this is the world. Yeah, this is the world that we're playing in. Oh, there is the border. Okay, so we now need to find out where a slime chunk is. So I guess we're going to have to do... Yeah, we're going to have to do a little bit of slime chunk finding on the internet. This is a crazy, crazy place. After doing a lot of searching, I have managed to locate myself a slime chunk. So this thing goes from minus 240 to 224. So that is in this direction over there. So that is minus 240 to 224 in the X. And then in the Z, it goes from 224 to 240. What are the chances of that happening? Okay, so if we just back it up, so that should take us there. That's it. That's the edge of the slime chunk if we go over. Okay, and then if we go over in this direction, we need to go until it goes to 15 in the chunk value of my F3 screen. Alright, let's see. Is anything going to spawn on there? Yes, okay, slimes have spawned and instantly jumped off, but as you just saw just then, this is a slime chunk. Brilliant. Okay, well, we've nailed that one. Now it's time to start working out how we're actually going to kill them. This is the point of this little testing world that we're creating. So here is my first original idea. Let's see how well this goes. What I want to do is, well, this layer here is where our bedrock and stone and everything like that is on the Hermitcraft server. So I'm quickly going to put that in place, going around the outside here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use minecart rails and minecarts with hoppers on the inside, minecart hoppers, to pick up all of the items that are on top of these blocks, which are going to be here. Now this should just about do the trick. So you can see our little minecart is running around, and that would be picking up all of the items that are on top of these blocks here. And gradually it will make its way back to this point and stop on that hopper right there, and it will drop off all of the items into a hopper line, which will then transport the items up into chests. And just for simplicity, right now this isn't redstone based, it's manual, so once all of the items are dumped out, a comparator would kick off, and then it would send the hopper minecart back around. Now obviously we're not going to be crashing into slimes with the actual design, because on top of all of these minecart rails, we're going to have our magma blocks. And as you can see, the magma blocks are on the same level as our bottom layer here, and that's because, as far as I can tell, which is something that I had never realized before, as far as I can tell, slimes are actually attracted to iron golems. So I'm hoping that I can pull the ones that haven't died off onto the magma so that they actually die on the magma because they want to try and get to the iron golem. I hope that makes sense. So let's see if this works as I imagined it. So if we place in... Oh, I've been playing way too much Minecraft today. Alright, let's get an actual alive slime and chuck him in. Yeah, they seem pretty interested in that iron golem. To the point where he is very much willing to actually die for that iron golem. Forget this one. This guy's kind of messing it up a little bit. Oh, this is great. And then we need to see if the baby ones, well, they die instantly. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Having seen that actually works, I've taken a little bit more inspiration from Ilmango's design, and I've just cloned up all of these iron golems to see if that helps in tempting the slimes off of the platforms towards certain locations. So that baby slime there, yeah, he's gone off the edge by the iron golems. That one, that big slime has gone straight towards the iron golems and actually off the edge, which, I mean, obviously we're not going to have that in our worlds, but as you can see, yeah, these little guys, these guys are also trying to get to the iron golems, and if we were to place magma blocks underneath there, everything seems to be dying in the same locations. Okay, so that could make life much easier for our item collection if we're only getting slime balls on these sides. Now, obviously, it could get a little bit more complicated because, of course, we have a bigger slime farm. We've got quad chunks, so I don't know how that would work. Maybe the slimes might end up changing their minds and going to different iron golems. But for the most part, this looks like it could function on the larger scale, which is very good news. The only thing is, some of the smaller slimes on the bottom layer were spawning over here and then traveling diagonally to get to those. So I'm just replacing all of these magma blocks with regular blocks, which should then mean that that shouldn't happen. So there really is only 4 locations, or on my bigger farm, I guess there'd be 8 locations in which these guys can die. Okay, let's redesign the item pickup system because we no longer need it to be this big. But before I did anything, I thought it'd be a good idea to do like a 15-20 minute observation session where I just observe what happens. And yeah, everything's in order. All of them are landing in exactly the same spots. There's a few of them that are flying off the edges, which, as I say, isn't going to be happening at all in our world. But as you can see from my inventory, this works quite fast. Obviously, we're in perfect prime conditions, but still, that's impressive, especially considering mine's going to be 4 times the size. Because I'm going to have a specific AFK spot for this thing, because I don't want my minecarts to disappear, it's all going to be activated via a redstone clock. So there goes the hopper minecart, and there it is returning. And those are my drops being dropped out by our hopper minecart into the chest, and they will all make their way in there. So it's not going to be automated. That will then just sit there, and then we'll have to wait for the redstone clock to tick on through, and then the hopper minecart will travel off once again, and it will pick up all of the blocks. And these redstone clocks are going to be activated when I stand on the pressure plate at my AFK spot, so that I can ensure that nothing's going to break if I just leave it running all the time and start unloading chunks and everything like that. Right, okay, well this is great news. This seems to be functioning as expected and is going to work on a much bigger scale. So, I can't wait to get this built on the Hermitcraft server. And the coolest thing about it is the fact that we now have 8 killing stations. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You guys get the picture. But that means that we've got 8 storage systems, which means that we can connect up each one of our 8 killing stations to each one of our 8 different storage systems, which means that those chests there will correspond to the number of slimes which have decided to jump off this side of the platform, and those ones there will correspond to the slimes that have decided to jump off over there. It will be interesting to see if certain ones produce more slime or if it's just totally even throughout. Either way, I'm really excited to get started, but unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually all I've got time for today. As you can probably tell from my speech, I am Minecrafted out. I've been playing tons and tons of Minecraft today, but I've really enjoyed it. It's been fun experimenting, and I'm just very happy to see that this farm here has been constructed, slimes are spawning, and I can't wait to start getting their slime balls up into these chests here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.